Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back to the farm. Today is one of those working from a list kind of days because there's so much to do, so little time to do it, and I already forgot the second thing I got to do, so I had to write it down. So we got to fix a wind fence today. We got to weld up a little bit on the trailer here. I got to turn a compost pile, big compost pile, in the lambing pen there. Finish cleaning out the chicken house, and then fill our bulk chicken feeder bins over by the chicken tractors, just so I'm not having to pack so much every day. I fill a bulk bin, and I can usually get 3-4 days out of that bin before I got to fill it up again. So that's the list, and then hopefully, boy, the chickens sure are noisy this morning. Hopefully once the list is done, we can go out and have a wonderful family afternoon out, find some type of activity, and it's gonna be a beautiful day for us, so let's go. All right, so I got the side-by-side loaded up, got some power tools, got some pig feed. We're about to head out and get started with our list. You might recall from the other day, me talking about this thing and how it's going down the road and we're getting a bigger unit. Honestly, this was a game changer for us. We had a Polaris, what was it, an 800 Sportsman before, and we'd have to pull a trailer around everywhere with us just to have the cargo space to do anything with it. So moving to a side-by-side was a huge game changer, huge, like way more functionality on the farm than the quad. But just because, you know, we have so much family inclusion in what we're doing, we needed to have more space. And so we started looking for either, you know, basically a crew cab of one of these, 570 mid-size crew cab, right? And we realized pretty short order that we're looking for a unicorn. Like you just can't find these things on the open market anywhere. Well, wouldn't you know, we actually looked at the Ritchie Brothers sale last week. And we found 4 of them, not one, but 4. And so there was the one, we actually bought one. There was the one we bought, one just like it, but it didn't have a winch. One that went for way crazy money, like 26 grand. And another one that actually got pulled like the day before the sale. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe they had a private sale or something like that. Anyway, so we are bringing one home and talk about unicorns. So I listed this thing for sale, and within 12 hours, had a buyer. Boom, it's done deal. So this is the last day we're gonna be able to do chores with this thing, and it's gonna head down the road to new pastures. So that's pretty exciting. And you know, the buy and sell market is hot right now, let me tell you. You cannot hang on to stuff if you price it fairly. So this is our wind fence here. It provides a much needed source of shelter in the winter months for the bulls when they come up here. But as you can see, a few of the boards get knocked off. There's some missing right from the end here. So we're gonna go ahead and actually, I was gonna hammer them back on, but I brought some screws too, because some of them just need a little bit of something extra. But it's already not going well, because when I was pounding some nails in, boom, 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 I set my hammer down for a second and I set it right in cow poop. So fantastic start to the morning, but we'll try and move forward. We'll try and get past. So I think I just had a light bulb moment here actually. So initially I was thinking this wind fence, the panels on the wind fence were getting pushed off by A, the wind, and B, the cows rubbing on it. But if it was the wind, surely the southwest fence, right, that's got the wind pushing out, you know, against the nails, these should all be tore right off, and they're not. But over here on the north side and over here on the northeast side, it is. They're tore off. They're pushed off. And what I realize is that these ones are facing out. This one is facing in, and so I think it's the bedding ground. The pressure of the straw and the manure as it builds up is pushing outwards and forcing the nails off those bottom boards, and then the wind catches it. The wind does catch it at that point, and then just pops them right off. So I'll get these boards reattached for now, and then what I'm gonna have to do is get over here with the tractor and just move all these panels. Probably wanna move it anyways, so I might as well move them all and reconfigure them so that the wooden panel side is on the inside, and that way as the bedding ground builds up and it is pushing outward pressure, then the fence boards are going to be backed up by that big steel cattle panel. So I'm just over here in our big garden, and you can see in between the rows of potatoes here, I've got some straw mulch. There was also a couple rows of potatoes over here that didn't have any mulch. And you can see I've started to mulch this row, but this and this are not the same thing. So what am I doing here? Well, earlier this year, I started cleaning out the chicken house. We use a deep bedding method. So we only clean it out really once a year, but there's quite a bit. So sometimes it takes me more than a day or more than a couple hours at a time. Really, I can only allocate a couple hours of time to do it. It's a big job, but I posed the question, can nitrogen-rich chicken manure actually burn plants? And if it can it be used as weed control? And so I really thought, okay, well, if the nitrogen is balanced with the carbon in the deep bedding, will it actually burn the plants? I don't know. Will it also provide a good mulch layer? I don't know. Sounds like a good idea for an experiment. So I've got a little wagon here full of deep litter, so it's pine shavings, chicken manure, and I am just laying down a pathway, probably 8 to 10 inches deep. In here you can see there's quite a bit of weed growth in between the rows already at that far end. I'm not even going to take that out. Not even going to take it out. I'm just going to cover it up, provide light exclusion, and we'll see what happens. And if this goes awry, if this, we just get massive weed growth, well, then that pretty much rules out the fact that chicken manure, when blended with pine shavings, can burn your garden. It also will pretty much rule out the fact that pine shavings, because they're carbon rich, can rob nitrogen because they're balanced with the chicken manure. So let's see how this works out. Well, we did get to have a fun afternoon out. We went over to Wembley, actually. I figured we were going to go to the Pipestone Dinosaur Museum. I guess it's actually called the Philip J. Currie Dinosaur Museum. And despite the fact their answering machine says they're open today, they were not open today. So we got robbed. We got cheated out of that one, but that was okay. We went to the Wembley Corner Store, picked up some pretty awesome ice creams, came home, did some welding on the trailer. Unfortunately, the front jack is pretty much thundered, but we should be able to get the side-by-side home tomorrow, and then I'll drop this thing off at Sandbros HD, which is a heavy-duty mechanic in Beaver Lodge, and then the brother-in-law can get whatever work he needs done to that. Anyways, I better go move some chicken tractors, get them all fed. Today was an absolute scorcher, so I gotta really check on the water, see what the water consumption is. It looks like probably right up until about late Wednesday, maybe early Thursday, we're gonna continue on this really, really hot weather path. So the chickens are probably just chugging water as fast as they can. So we'll go get them moved onto some fresh grass and get them all topped up and ready for another day. So I got the chicken tractors moved, the 2 little ones, and then the great big one. So this has, what is it? It's 20, 20, and 35. That's what we have in each of these. Now, they each have a 5-gallon pail like this, full of water every single day. These 2 are going through about 2/3 of one, and that one on a hot day like today goes through a full 5-gallon bucket. So there's absolutely no day where you can skip giving them water, because you're just going to come to absolute carnage, and you're not going to want that. So it's a huge investment of time, money, effort, sweat, all that stuff. You don't want to waste it all on just being lazy and not coming out and giving them water. One of the other most important things you can do for these chickens is move them every single day. That's why they're in the chicken tractors. It's not there. They can spend 2-3 days there, maybe a week. It's not a vacation. Every single day you got to move them. It won't be long, and we'll actually be moving them twice a day, morning and night. And the reason for that is manure management. Broiler chickens poop like an immense amount. And yeah, I don't even know what the number is, but it's a lot. And if you leave them here for longer than they should, boy, oh boy, that is one beautiful sky, isn't it? Wow. Anyways, yeah, if you leave them here for longer than they should, what moves in? Flies, insects. They start harassing your chickens, and it just becomes a very unhealthy, unclean environment. So every day or more than once a day, get them moved, get them fresh water, give them lots of food, and you'll be successful. Anyways, speaking of successful, let's see if I can successfully hop this fence. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, we made it. This is the horse pasture. Gus, Rosie, Elsie's in the back with baby Sven. We haven't checked in with baby Sven since the day after he was born. I'm just gonna go over there now and yeah, spend a little time. It's kind of nice for him now in the evenings. Earlier today when it was just sweltering hot, he was just kind of off in the field, standing there not doing much. But here earlier this evening I seen him up kicking and bucking full of piss and vinegar, and that's what we like to see. So he's doing just grand. Elsie's doing great. You see she's still shedding some of her winter coat there, but she's starting to look nice and lean. But you're still fluffy, hey mister? You wanna come say hi? Hi Elsie. Want some scratches? Yeah. How about you, mister? Oh, look at those ears. Look at those ears. Yeah. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. You're a good little boy, aren't you? Yeah. Well, it's looking like if I don't shut it down right now, I'm not going to get my 8 hours of much needed beauty sleep. So I better let you go for now, make myself a cup of tea. I hope you have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.